Hey everybody, man, it just occurred to me it's been a few weeks since I made a video. Now we had to get through Thanksgiving, and by the way, happy Thanksgiving to everybody. I hope you had a good Thanksgiving and you're all decorated for Christmas and have all your shopping done and all that good stuff. And I hope you have a very Merry Christmas if I don't see you by then. But it's been a busy time around here. I've been busy with work and busy with the holidays and stuff. So, with that being said, one of my most common questions is, can you make a living as a bondsman? Is it good money? I get asked that all the time. And tonight I was up at the jail getting somebody out, and the lady that was signing for the guy I was getting out was like, I'm in the wrong line of business, because she heard us bondsmen up at the jail talking about, we wrote this, we wrote that, kind of how much we made on this and that. And she's like, is it good money? And I explained to her, like I do everybody else, well, it depends. Because everything in the bonding business depends, and nothing's guaranteed. Um, Depends on where you're at, depends on how good you are at the job, depends on how established the company you work for is. There are so many factors in being a bondsman when it comes to the money. And now I'm not talking about being a bounty hunter. That's a whole different set of criteria. I'm talking about the bondsman that goes to the jail and gets the people out of jail. You know, in my area, at the jail that I was at that time, there were there are 23 bonding companies on the board that are approved to write bonds at that jail. And out of those 23 companies, there's probably six that I see every time I go to the jail that are doing a lot of volume and a lot of business out of that jail. And each company probably has, most companies around here have one or two, sometimes three agents. So there's about 60 people that are kind of fishing in the same pond, and that's a lot of competition. Now, to uh, combat that, we write bonds in multiple counties, but it's still the same situation in every county. You have a lot of companies competing for the business in that county. And I say competing, but it's really not a competition because we're regulated by law as to how much we can charge. So it's not like we can come in and offer lower rates, but we can offer certain things like a lower down payment if it's a big bond. But then you kind of screw yourself when you do that. So that's a double edged sword and probably a whole different video, a whole different subject. But can you make a good living in this business? Yes. I know somebody that makes $300,000 a year as an agent, not as a company owner, as an agent, 300,000 a year, because he's very, very good at this job. In order to be successful in this business, you got to have a very specific personality type, and you have to be good at the job. Even if you work for a company that puts a lot of money into advertising, they're well known in the area, they get a lot of phone calls. You know, you can work for a company like that and probably make mediocre pay in this area anyway, and or you can be crap at the job, work for a small company that doesn't have a large operating budget, and you're going to starve to death. One of the agents that was up there tonight was telling me that he was working for a company that in a month and a half did not receive one single phone call from the jail or one single phone call from advertising. So it's not because it's a bad company, it's just because they don't have a large operating budget in this area. So he transferred to a company that operated primarily in that county, and now he does fairly well for himself. So that's another thing that determines where's the company based out of, because a lot of times companies base out of their home area, you know, where the person was raised, and you know they know everybody and their brother, and once everybody and their brother gets to know that they're bondsmen and word gets out, then they get business by word of mouth rather than advertising. But when you start opening offices in areas where people aren't familiar with you, they're going to go with bonding companies. Most people will go with bonding companies that are already established. They know the name, they know they've been there for a while. Not to say that a new company can't come in and make a name for themselves, but it takes time, money, and persistence. If you have a good agent, then that good agent can establish your company in a new area for you. It's like anything else, it's sales and marketing. You know, if you have a good sales and marketing person or a good sales and marketing team, you can advertise just about anywhere or be successful just about anywhere. But if you, as an agent, or you're interested in getting in the business and you want to walk into success and you don't want to put the work and the time in, then this probably isn't for you. Especially if you're going into an area that, you know, the company is not well known, well established. Now, I know a lot of people are like, well, I know everybody here. You know, that's great. I know tons and tons of people where I grew up too. Well, guess what? They don't get arrested, they don't go to jail, so that network of people is no good to me. My family, that network of people is no good to me because they don't go to jail. I've gotten maybe 2 clients out of people in my family or close friend network, and they were just circumstances that were kind of way out there. I mean, I just don't run with criminals. Well, the guy that makes 300,000 a year that I'm talking about, he kind of lives in both worlds. He's not a criminal, but all of his friends are. All the people he knows are. I wouldn't call them his friends, but the people he associates with operate on that side of the fence. So when they get in trouble, that's who they call. I don't do that. I don't do that. I'm much better at the bounty hunting side of things and the management side of things than I am at the bonding side of things. I'm still good at it, but I'll never be that good at it. I'll never be as good as this guy that I'm talking about. You know, I'm good at reading people's BS. That's another thing you got to be real good at if you're out there on your own. To make good money, you got to be able to read through people's BS. If it's not their BS about where they're from or how much money they make or how much money they have, like you got somebody that's in there on $100,000 bond and they're coming at you with, oh, I got $10,000. It's just over at my cousin's house. You'd be surprised how much that happens. Just get me out and give me a ride over there. I'll take you right to it. Right to it. And then you get them out and all of a sudden the cousin don't exist and you're stuck with this person. Now, in some states, you can just put them right back in jail. And maybe I could probably get away with it here, but over time you learn to read through that crap. And that's how you make good money, because you're not going to waste time with that dude that's scamming you, and you're going to make money on somebody that's